This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will talk on the upcoming transit of Saturn in the Aquarius sign, which is going to be taking place on April 29th. So friends, we have already talked a lot on this concept, like what could be the customized results for all the ascendants, all the moon signs. And we have also talked about that if Saturn is going to be transiting over your natal planets, what kind of results you can expect. But trust me friends, when we talk about the transit of the Saturn, that becomes very important for all of us, because Saturn is the significator of profession for all of us, and the transit of Saturn actually holds this key to bring that substantial changes, restructuring, attainment of position, power in all of our lives. So because of which Saturn's transit plays a very pivotal role. Now why this specific transit is so important? So now friends, try to understand this thing, that Saturn is going to be entering its Mool Trikona sign. Like Saturn in Capricorn is also comfortable, but the energy of Saturn in Capricorn is all about being duty oriented. Saturn attains exaltation in the Libra, but even Libra energy manifests Saturn's serving side, which can actually benefit the politicians, or it can actually benefit all those people whose all endeavors and actions are completely directed and driven towards serving and helping or uplifting the masses. But when we talk about the energy of Saturn in the Aquarius, it has everything to do with providing you with the rewards, giving you the profits. So because of which the transit of Saturn in the Aquarius becomes very important. Now friends, just because we are talking everything and all aspect of the profession, so in our Vedic astrology there is a divisional chart which tells about your professional sphere in a very elaborative way, which is the D10 chart or the Dasamsha chart. Now friends, I will be very honest with you guys, I am not gonna say this thing that this transit of Saturn in the Aquarius needs to be looked at D10 chart for everyone. No, it's gonna play a very pivotal role only in specific cases, which I will share very soon with you. But for rest of the people, it might be more advisable for you guys to look at or restrict your assessment only to the main Lagan chart. But in certain alignments which we will discuss, if it is going to be falling eligible or fulfilling eligible in your case, it might prove to be a game changer for you guys. And now friends, as you know this thing, that when we talk about the D10 chart, now D10 chart is a very important chart because this chart represents the force of your actions, your karma, the prospects of the attainment of power and position. So all of those subtle energies we get to know from the D10 chart. Like the way friends, why we say this thing that the D9 chart is very important? Because D9 chart is a elaborative version of your fortune, of the divine grace. So the divine grace helping your planetary vibrations from behind the surface. Same way friends, the energies of the D10 chart is always supporting you from the behind the screen in order to be firm on your path. For anything to do with the prospects of name, fame, major career accomplishments and the prospects of status, all of that can also be validated from the D10 chart as well. So now friends, as you know this thing, that the D10 chart which tells about your professional aspect, there are certain areas in the D10 chart which plays a very pivotal role, which is first you have to look at the rising sign of the D10 chart, because that is just going to tell you about the theme, about the kind of personality your career is going to shape up, like whether your career is going to have the flavors of recognition, of limelight, which could be the theme of the Leo, or whether it's going to have a theme of wisdom, of growth, of hopefulness, which could be the theme of the Sagittarius or the Aquarius, or whether your career is going to be completely dedicated and devoted towards the attainment of power and the use of the authority, which could be the signification of the Capricorn sign. But now friends, the few cases which I just mentioned at the beginning of the video is going to be where the transit of Saturn in the Aquarius is going to be taking place in your D10 chart. Either if in your case in the D10 chart your rising sign is Aquarius, that is the first sign of eligibility. The second thing is that if you will find that Saturn is going to be transiting in the Aquarius in your D10 chart on the 10th house, which is the Karaka house of the D10 chart, then it's gonna become very important transit for you. The third thing is that, friends, the planet which is going to be your 10th house lord from the main Lagna chart, main ascendant chart. So let's say, for example, in your main Lagna chart, you are a Taurus rising person. So that means Saturn has got the rulership of your 10th house. And if in the D10 chart, Saturn is going to be placed in the Aquarius. So this transit of Saturn in the Aquarius needs to be studied at your D10 chart as well. Let's say, for example, another example, if in your main Lagna chart, ascendant chart, your rising sign is Gemini. So that means your 10th house lord, if you are a Gemini rising in the ascendant chart, so your 10th house lord is the planet Jupiter. So if Jupiter is going to be placed in the D10 chart in the Aquarius sign, so then it's going to become very important for you that you have to look at your D10 chart as well. Now we will start decoding all these three different alignments which we just discussed. So the first is that, friends, let's say, for example, if in your case, if in your D10 chart you have a rising sign of Aquarius and Saturn is transiting over there in your D10 energy, in your D10 chart. So now, friends, this could be a very important career related event for you, where the karmic events could give you foundation. So this transit of Saturn is straight away going to be influencing in the foundation, deep rooted foundation of your professional aspect. So I would say that if you are in that stage of your life where you are kind of shuffling with different career choices, or you are thinking about venturing out into some new domain, you are in service, you are thinking about starting your own venture, your own business. So for any sort of innovation, any sort of restructuring, or venturing into some new line of work, in new business prospects, this transit of Saturn in the Aquarius sign can be seen as a very important time for you. Now, friends, the second eligibility, or the second criteria where this transit needs to be studied at your D10 chart as well, if Saturn is going to be transiting your 10th house in the D10 chart. So that means that in your D10 chart or the Dasamsha chart, you have a Taurus rising sign over there, and Saturn is going to be transiting over your 10th house. So now, friends, definitely this could be seen as a very good time in this regard, that if you actually want to in your existing line of work. So here we are not talking about some major kind of restructuring. Here we are talking about in your professional front, some concrete development, rewards, or result can manifest during this time, and this is going to become more kind of fulfilling for all those people who are either connected with politics, who are like on a top management position. So if you are in that domain where you are eyeing for, or you're striving for some sort of authority, some sort of power, then this transit in the D10 chart where Saturn is going through your 10th house can actually give you that sort of kind of success, or that sort of attainment of position of power which you deserve for a long time. And the third criteria is that, friends, like let's say, for example, if in your main ascendant chart, whatsoever planet is your 10th house lord. Now this could be the planet Venus as well, if you are a Leo rising in the main ascendant chart. So that means in your 10th house there is the energy of Venus. Venus rules it, and if Venus is going to be placed in the Aquarius sign in the D10 chart, this could be anywhere. This could be in the 8th house of D10 chart, this could be 7th house, this could be 5th house, this could be 4th house. So now, friends, if Saturn is going to be transiting over your 10th house lord from the main Lagna chart, then definitely, friends, this could be a time when the hand of destiny can actually influence you, like circumstances can prove to be working in your favor, and for reaping the rewards for all the hard work which you have been doing for a long time, that can manifest. So now friends, at the end, I'm going to be clarifying and summarizing all the three criteria which I just discussed it with you. The first criteria is that if in your D10 chart, your rising sign is the Aquarius, so then this could be a time of venturing out or experimenting or succeeding in some altogether different venture, different line of work. Saturn can give you foundation or can actually give you a breakthrough or some sort of sponsorship, some sort of support of some new ventures as well, if that is getting qualified in your case as well. If you are a kind of person who is just kind of contented and satisfied with a bi-weekly checks or monthly salary and a 9 to 5 job, secure job, then definitely you do not even need to watch this video, because D10 chart just tells about, and D10 chart is actually meant for people who strive for greatness and big concrete successes. So that is one thing, friends. And the second criteria is that if Saturn is going to be transiting over your 10th house in the D10 chart, if in your 10th house you have in the D10 chart you have got the Aquarius sign, so that can actually indicate towards the concerns of the attainment of power position during this time. And lastly, friends, like if Saturn is going to be transiting over your 10th house lord from the main Lagna chart in the D10 chart, then this could be time of reaping up the rewards of all the hard work which you have been doing from the past. Now this rewards aspect could have financial connotation to it, could have some sort of new role, new responsibility, success in your existing line of work, but some way it is definitely going to be very minutely is going to be influencing you. So again, friends, I do not want to go to the depth of covering it from all the 12 houses, because like the way I always say this thing, all the concrete substantial accomplishment, all the changes, all the getting something, losing something, all the major movement in our life takes place only from the Lagan chart or the ascendant chart. But just because this transit is so important, and if Aquarian energy is falling or it's getting qualified in your case in a very subtle areas of your D10 chart, then definitely it's going to have a say in your life. And friends, as you know this thing, that during this time Saturn is just going to be entering the boundaries of the Aquarius sign just up to 1 degree, but the major impact or result is definitely going to come. Whatsoever we have discussed in this video, that will definitely qualify in your case when Saturn will make a final move in January 2023. But during these 3 months you will definitely feel the change, you will feel the energy working in your favor. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.